It's time to light it up officially. J5 Clothing Company, better known as Johnny 5 Clothing, is now the exclusive licensee of all official X-Lights merch. Hit up xlightsmerch.com to grab pixel perfect gear like a Lighting Nerd snapback, the Don't Cross the Data hoodie, and the Sequencer Squad graphic tee, all designed for the community, by the community. And for our diehard donors, we've got exclusive limited run items just for you. Colorways, tags, and designs you won't find anywhere else. Wear it proud because you made this possible. Every single purchase you make sends 100% of the proceeds directly back to X-Lights, the open source engine behind your favorite light shows. So rock the gear, fund the future, and show the world what it means to be part of the Pixel family. Go now to xlightsmerch.com. Powered by J5 Clothing Company. Style for the season, support for the software.
What's up, Brian?
What's going on? I wasn't ready for that to be over. I was ready for the other intro.
We were on both opposite sides here.
We are. We're switching it up. I don't know.
But so what have you been fishing?
A lot. Yes.
Guess who's going to the Ohio Mini now?
I saw that.
Peer pressure's a bitch. Actually, Cecilia found that I had Southwest flight credits that were going to expire from one of the things I couldn't make it to.
We transferred
them over, and I'm going to.
You're going to chance
before they run out.
It's a chance. Is the Southwest like the
no? I have less problems with Southwest. We had the most problems with Alaska.
No minor delays.
Yeah.
Willie's always on. Hi, Willie.
What's up, Willie? So what have you been fishing?
A lot, yes. But we've been hitting Powwow Pond on base because they got largemouth and bluegill in there, and we catch the crap out of them and make everybody else that's fishing out there jealous because we're always hooking into them. It was a little bit slow. Not last night. It was raining. Sunday night, but still not bad. But tonight we're going walleye and then probably into catfish after that because it's the Missouri River. It's got everything. After Maroney Dam. So what is? Oh my God, James!
Yeah, we should get to the show because James is ready to go. So we're gonna play their intro.
Who are we?
Recorded in front of a live studio audience.
This is a Matos Designs production.
And I am not done. Mark my words.
I like your line. I like your prices. If there's a problem, there's no guarantee on the box.
You can't hang out with chickens and expect to soar with eagles.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
An electrician got your light works up.
And now your hosts, JR and Brian.
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
Oh no, he's being covered.
No, we were supposed to have James, but instead we got a wider version of Tom.
Yeah, fun size Tom.
Fun size. That's awesome.
Scooby-Doo intro.
I'm actually glad mine got stolen.
Yeah, there might be a few new ones coming.
Oh, geez.
There's been new ones coming for years.
Yeah, there's somebody that looks like me that steals shit in Baton Rouge.
For sure. Yep. How are you guys doing?
Good. How you been?
Good. How you doing?
Slammed. It is just absolutely busy right now. I've been busy. Just haven't caught a break yet.
Yeah. You mean you can't go fishing like Brian does all the time?
Right. Somebody needs to send him some more work. I got my pack going. I'm trying to grow it out.
There might be work out there that I could have probably did last night and forgot about it.
I know somebody who would appreciate that.
I know. It was about 9:30 last night, and I'm like, oh crap, because we didn't go fishing. It was raining, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
just left me hanging.
Way too late to get started on that because TikTok and videos. Just
the problem is he's on TikTok now, and his production has gone down.
TikTok shop is the curse, man. It's,
oh, how much shit have you bought, Brian?
No.
That'll get him in trouble, man. You can't ask those kind of questions.
the door's shut, but I talk loud.
The worst part is hopefully when he dies, she doesn't sell it for what he told her it cost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen those TikToks where the guy's like, "These are my tools," and then she's got them for sale, $300.
Yep. What are you doing? I mean, maybe the Harbor Freight welder could probably go for that, but
yeah. Cool.
So you're pretty famous. So a lot of people already know all this stuff about you. But tell us a little about yourself, James.
Well, just a small town boy.
living in a lonely world.
I guess we can go back. I did architecture for almost 16 years as an architect, project manager. Did that for a small firm, local firm, then moved to a global firm that was the second largest in the entire world, and did that for another 8 years with both companies, either company. And had this little hobby going on in the background, doing these crazy little Christmas fights, and people started wanting what I was making. And so we started making it and created a business. And before you know it, here we are. It's come a long way. It's fun watching this hobby grow, as you guys have seen, and in your involvement. But going back to some of the crazy, stupid things we used to do to build displays is just mind blowing. Wonder why we did it now. It's like one of my biggest props was my big snowman, my 26-foot tall snowman, and it got upgraded every year because the technology changed. So you'd spend 1,000 hours building this stupid thing electronically, and then the next year you would change it out. Then after that you would change it out, and it finally got the pixels and it was done. But it went through incandescents at first, then it got converted to LEDs later on, then it got kind of converted to dumb RGBs, strips, and then it got converted to pixels finally. That thing it evolved several times, but the technology changed. What we had available to us was totally different back then. We were doing the Renard SS controllers, which are just a on-off with fade for LEDs and incandescent lights, and you built those controllers. You actually soldered all that stuff together. My real first venture as a business was building these kits for people to solder all this together. We would hold these group buys, and back then it was do-it-yourself Christmas forum, and we would sell out. We'd sell 400 units in 30 minutes or less. It was just nuts. People waiting on these things.
Wow.
Then the administrator for that site was kind of worried because there were some problems with some other people doing group buys, not fulfilling the orders. And so they put limits on what we could do. So we did it off site, and then we would sell, 2,000 kits at a time. And, it was just a family ordeal. Everybody was sitting there packaging all these resistors and components and bagging them and putting labels on them, and people would have to put all this stuff together. And even that, we evolved it. We got the lead bender, so we'd run the whole 5,000 reel of resistors through a lead bender, and then we'd bend them and cut them to the right size and just drop into the board. Thing with the sand devices, the E681s or whatever they were called back then. And putting those together. I mean, my first year using those, we built 20 of them. It's come a long way. I'm glad we don't build those things anymore.
I only had one sand device, and I never used it because I was too scared to get into pixels.
Well, there was so much restrictions back then. It was the setup. It had 16 outputs, and you had these clusters of 4 banks, and all 4 of your outputs had to match. So you could say, okay, 168, because that's a universe, and a universe matters. You can only put one universe going out. And it was just a mess. But they did change the firmware, and you can do some other stuff. But again, the Falcons and everything else that evolved after that just blew it away. And John St. John just never really updated that firmware to or compete with what came out later, what we use now.
Yeah, I've heard horror stories on them, but I've never used them or anything like that as well.
Yeah.
But so we know you're married and stuff, and I do want to give a belated shout out to Shannon, the hardest working lady in Coro. Oh my gosh, she has done it all. But tell us about Shannon and the kids and everything else.
Yeah, Shannon's doing well. She had surgery right 2 weeks ago now. So she's still recovering for that. She'll be out probably for another month from that. Hopefully that'll help with some of her pain issues. And kids are doing well. Maddie, my oldest, she's married David a year and a half ago now, almost. So they're doing well. They live down the street from us in our old house. And Peyton, the middle one, he's doing really well with coming into the business and doing a lot of drawing now. Him and I think 3 of his friends right now are in Texas. They went to some concert up in Fort Worth. So that's tonight. Yeah, I find out about this Sunday. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be out till Thursday. Yeah. Oh, nice. HR didn't let me know about that one. Yeah. So I'm like, I really don't want that going on right now, but we're just slammed trying to get these last commercial orders out. And then I got Olivia. She's doing a lot of acting and stuff at theater and really enjoying that. But she's still in high school, so she's dying to drive, and that's next. So, but yeah, everybody's doing well. Everybody's awake, alive, kicking, complaining, spending money. The usual. So,
Willie says his show still runs on sand devices.
Look, they work. They're workhorses. They, once you changed out the resistor banks in them, you got some distance on them, because in the beginning you couldn't go more than about 10 foot from the controller, and then you had to put a null pixel in it, and it was a mess. But I think the new not the firmware. Well, the firmware helps, but the resistor bank gave you the 25, 30 foot range. So
yeah, so when I got mine, I was terrified because I wanted to build a mega tree with it, and reading the forums and everything, they're like, oh, it can't. And I was like, well, how's it going to go from the first one to the other one without, right? So I was just like, oh, and then I put it on the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's when you learn, you're trying to save money. I get it. In the very beginning, we're all trying to figure out how to save money. Pixels. My first pixels were like $1.80 a piece per pixel. It was stupid back then. And you imagine doing a mega tree out of that?
Wow.
We did. And it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's just nuts. We've got it good now compared to everything that we used.
Yeah, it's so much easier than what it was.
Yeah.
Like when I first started looking into pixels, like it was crazy. It made me stay with AC lights for like 2 more years because like it was too damn hard.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. And now people could practically just plug it in.
Pretty much. With some of the stuff that some of the guys are coming out with, you just upload your layout and it'll do it for you. It's pretty amazing. Like when we would have to integrate pixels, we would have to go to Nutcracker 123, and then that was like the early parts of what X-Lights became, and you would basically cut and paste that into Vixen to put the effect in there. And that's how you had to do pixels back then. It wasn't all in one. You were kind of just scrapping things around that existed to make it work. Vixen, the original Vixen 2.1, whatever it was.
I still have a computer in the garage at my parents' house that has Nutcracker and Vixen on it.
I probably still have a laptop that has it. And then, Vixen evolved, and then so did that. They both evolved, and just handle as the hobby transitioned into more and more pixels, it had to be able to handle it. So I can remember I killed Vixen. I exceeded its limits whenever I was doing my show, and that's when I started making the transfer to X-Lights. because you couldn't sequence. It lagged so much, and it didn't matter how big of a computer you put on it. It couldn't handle 140,000 channels, back then. So
you mean when people had to worry about channels?
yeah. Yeah.
There's probably people watching this be like, what's a channel?
Right. What's the deal? And we get that with some of the legacy props, right? Some of the stuff that's been around for 10, 11 years. And it's like, they don't understand why the pixel count is what it is. Okay. It's 168 pixels. Why? Well, that was a universe. 170 was a universe. You can't divide that evenly by 3. So you went to 168. Done.
Yep.
And universes were important back then. Not so much now. No. But yeah, it's like I said, it's so easy now.
So Dylan on Facebook wants to know if you have a picture of your snowman.
We do. I know there's a video or two. Are y'all going to show any videos?
If you want to send it to me, James, I can bring it up.
I got videos of James's stuff. We could.
Yeah. You can actually Google it on YouTube. The Hohensee family lights. That was the pixel version was used when we were on Great Christmas Light Fight. We actually had snowmen that represented the entire family. So everybody had their own. Mine was the original one, and then my wife had her own, and they just all tapered down in size. And 3 kids had their own representation, and it was things that they were interested in. Is why we built them.
Brian, you want to put the YouTube link to James?
Oh, you want just the link then?
Just send it in the chat.
Okay. For those that
couldn't
find us on Facebook, I did put that link up there.
And the funny part is that snowman actually is going to return. He's getting an update. He'll be in our drive-through that we do as well. Now, he's not at my house. When we moved, my original house that I did my show at was perfect for doing a show and having just lots of people watch the show. Where I live at now, not so much. It's a narrower roads in a subdivision, but it's just it doesn't do well for having 100 people in front of your house watching it, whereas my old house did. So we don't do as big of a show now, and then we do a drive-through now, and so we have a 26-foot tall snowman, Santa Claus rather. And so the snowman is going to pair really nicely with the Santa Claus. So
very cool.
So how long have you been?
Shot. Is the spaceship done then? You only did that 1 year?
The spaceship? That's at the newer house.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that was where we were playing around with Ultimesh, and we designed a flat mesh that we can make into the tree. And what I love about the Ultimesh is we have that tool that generates the layout for you and creates the model for you for X-Lights and creates all the shadow models in the background for you. Keith Wesley wrote that for us, and it really does well. And the point of that is I can create a random organic shape mesh based off these components that we manufacture, and it creates a seamless model for you in X-Lights. So when you render it, it renders it properly. And I actually started really liking the flat Christmas trees like that we did with the UFO was the star on it. And the idea is the pixel spacing is maintained both in the X and the Y direction. So your images don't get distorted. They like on a mega tree where it tapers in and the pixels get closer and closer in the one direction, but not the other. So, but yeah, you can share the link, or like I said, they can find it on, there's some videos on YouTube from, what was that, in 2016 that we were on Light Fight, whatever year that was, forever ago.
I think that's, that was the one I put up, I think.
So how long have you been doing Christmas lights?
Long time. Not as long as a lot of people. You know, some of the original gangsters out there, like, you know, Walter Monkhouse and those guys, but my stuff never clicked with the relays and funky things. But I think my first display that was sequenced, I think it was around 2009, 2010, somewhere up in there was the first year that we did a synchronized. I had been decorating before that, right? But that's whenever we really kind of made a turn, and it was like, let's do stupid stuff now.
We know where that was coming from.
That's Millie. Guess FedEx guys here. The sad part is she's barking with her ball in her mouth.
So, oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I forgot what I was going to ask now.
Well, I was going to ask what inspired you to get in the light show way back in the day.
It was just fun in the beginning, and then I saw a commercial, not Holdman, but there was a
Not Holdman's.
it was two houses that were doing. It was a beer commercial. I can't remember what it was, but it was two dueling houses, and I was like, man, I got to do that. And then I started looking into it, and of course, I found Lightorama at first. And I was like, man, I can't afford Lightorama to do as much as I want to do. And that's why I went to Renard SS and just, I was a DIYer. I built things. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a way to make it cheaper and better, and just do it for me. And that's what worked for me. And that's where I found the guys at, Renard SS, Phil Shorts. He wrote the firmware for it, and Wayne James was selling the kits at that time. And, we just kind of barged on in there and said, hey, let's do this. And my first year doing synchronized, we had over 660 channels of synchronized channels, which is stupid. I don't even know how to talk about it now. It's like, it sounds like, oh my gosh, 660. It's like only 660. It's like now we're running over 1 million channels. And it's like, who cares? It's just 660. Yeah. But it was a lot back then. I mean, I remember one of my favorite props I made were these stupid little 5-foot tall trees. And each one of them was like 8 channels. So it had 5 channels going up, and it was segmented. So you can make the tree go up and down. And then it had 3 more colors of red, green, and blue, right? So, I mean, you could just mask the whole thing in the color, or you can make it look like a slot machine if you put 3 of them next to each other. And it was cool. I mean, it was just fun. That was back in the day. We were cleaning up, and we found the original arch twister that I made, and it was with a drill that drove a turntable, so you could sit there and it would rotate your pipe, so you could just feed the lights on it and make the little segments, because we would, that's how you did your arches. You took a piece of pipe and you wrapped 8 different segments of LEDs on it, and it was 8 channels per, and everything evolved around 8. Everything, that's just the way it was.
That's how my first mega tree was too. I remember I would tie them all onto a ladder, and then I would be like this, like tying them all into making a rope.
Yeah, you would make super strings.
Incandescent lights.
Yeah, you would make super strings with a white, a red, green, and blue, and that was it. And just all those stupid little cheap Dollar Tree type extension cords to plug all that in. I mean,
yeah, the indoor ones.
Yeah, indoor. But yeah, the water shakes out fine. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was fun. I mean, it was so early in this hobby, and there were no rules. There still aren't rules. I mean, and if there are rules, they're made to be broken. So screw it.
I still ran indoor extensions when Brian came to help me for Light Fight.
I ran them at the drive-through this past year.
There may have been something getting cut off. Sorry.
The GFI
what? What?
Yeah.
So did you ever have a Mr. Christmas? Or did you just
I never had a Mr. Christmas. I skipped that step. So
that's what my basicness was at for my first mega tree.
Hey, I wanted to bring up a viewer question real quick from Doug. Can you see that okay?
Yeah. So, yeah, back in the day, you had to be knowledgeable, right? You had to be knowledgeable about networks. You had to be just even some light programming, right? Computer programming to really make everything work, or to really customize it. But you still had to be more knowledgeable. As the software X-Lights, those guys have just done a phenomenal job of making it easier and easier to use and understand. As well as the whole wealth of information out there. I can Google almost anything I need to know about it, and somebody's got a video out there. I don't care whose it is, but everybody's got an opinion, and it's out there, so you can go see it. And so, yes, I think that lowers the entry level of how much knowledge you have to have, and it's a double-edged sword, right? You've entered this world that we used to be the DIY, where I did everything and I had to make it and I had to build it, and now it's evolved into more of a do it for me. kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people don't want to put things together, or they're scared to, quite honestly. And I can tell you, people, the craziest thing, people are scared to death to cut a pixel string. Pixels are going to go out. I hate to tell you. Cut it.
The cut and splice is almost, yeah.
Pick your favorite way of splicing it back together, whether you're using, Matos crimp lock type connectors, or Scotch locks, or soldering it, and going old school and doing the solder and actually just putting heat shrink tube on it. Just do it. I mean, it's not going to hurt. Don't use aluminum cladded copper. I'll tell you that now.
Right.
City of Zachary, we did a big install for in the beginning. They saw what we were doing. They're like, "Hey, come do some stuff for us." Yeah. So, aluminum cladded wire. So what happens when it gets wet is it oxidizes and it eats up everything. And then all of a sudden it becomes brittle and hard, and you don't have connections anymore. And you throw all of that away and replace it with good Belden 4-conductor copper wire. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, Brian Michael says he remembers making the drill to wrap the pipes.
The tater twisters and stuff, yeah.
And then Willie says we're describing his show. So he's still running the old school version, which is fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Still get blinky flashy.
Absolutely. People will still come and watch the show.
Yep.
I mean, they don't care. They just want to see lights and listen to a few good songs and have a good family time. And that's
so before we get into the speed round, which we're going to talk about your house and not the drive-through because we don't have time for that. Tell us something nobody knows in the hobby.
Nobody knows?
Well, maybe a select few. No.
As far as Great Christmas Light Fight for us almost didn't happen. Couple weeks before we were supposed to start filming, our entire area flooded. So when they filmed Great Christmas Light Fight, our house was partially gutted. There was no floors on the floor and no flooring. Sheetrock was cut out, and we flooded, and we had a flash flood that got us. So it all came Friday, and then it disappeared Friday. And this is why we had the business as well. So business was in the backyard at our home shop. So we're like mad scramble to get all the electronics high enough, because we had about 18 inches of water out there, and get all of our controllers and the CNC controllers up out of the water, or so they wouldn't get wet. And so I call up Felicia and them, and I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. We just flooded, and we're probably not going to do the Great Christmas Light Fight. And so we kind of let it go. And ironically, we were at one of the hardware stores, and everybody knows who we are, right? We've been doing the Christmas lights for a while, and there were some people in there, and they were asking us if we were going to do the Christmas lights, and I'm like, probably not this year. And and it was amazing how much those people enjoyed the lights, right? And it was like it was something they wanted, they needed. And so we went on and did it. And then we called Felicia and them back, and we said, look, we'll try to make this work. And they agreed. And and it was a lot of fun. It was hard. I can tell you I was a zombie, because the day before I'm at my mom's business and we're gutting it, getting rid of all the flood damage out of there. And it was some great people made that show happen. From Nick Johnson to Mark Valentine and his wife and family, they all came down. Because I can tell you, if it wasn't for those guys, that show would have never happened. They came down, they helped put the show up, do whatever it takes. And of course, back then we filmed in September, November, whenever, August, somewhere up in there. It's hot. It's hot. It's just amazingly hot. Grass is growing. So I had a neighbor come through, and see our show. It's pretty big. He actually weed eated my whole front yard around every prop before they filmed.
Oh,
because
wow.
the grass had started growing. I mean, it never stopped. It's that time of the year. And it was pretty awesome. There's some pretty great people around here. So, but Mark came down. He lived up in Arkansas, and he came all the way down from Louisiana and hung out with us. And they made it happen, man. A lot of late nights.
the people in the community are awesome. Because like when I was on the show too, I had Brian come out from Montana. I had Dave from Washington come down.
Yeah.
I had anybody in California that knew I was going to be on it came and tried to help. Even Daniel from Bakersfield came up to help me, but couldn't be there when we filmed. So he went home. And it was just like he was just coming to help, not just to be on TV. You know?
Yeah.
It was
just to be
it's
part
awesome.
of it.
You know? The community used to be this great thing of everybody helping each other. Lately it's been a little of everybody out for themselves kind of thing, but I think the community needs a little reset of everybody working together. I bet you Brian Michaels was taking notes because now he's adding that to the library of great Christmas light fight stories. he just added a tab to your episode.
Right.
Wasn't there and I was thinking about this right before I got busy for a second. Sorry about all the background noise, but didn't you get a call back and couldn't make it when they wanted to come back out to see you?
Yeah.
We cannot confirm or deny that.
It was confirmed. So, yes. We were sent an email. We were supposed to be available for a certain day and be dressed in Christmas attire. And unfortunately, we had a prior obligation. My daughter at the time was in the band. That's why they were part of our episode. And, they had performed at our lights. That'd been the 4th year they had performed. So we either had the full band or the jazz band would perform. Anyway, I was the president of the Backers Association for the high school band because my kids were in it. And they had a competition on that particular day. And so we offered the following day. And they called us the Friday before and said, we no longer need you and goodbye. So that was it. Wow. So yeah, it is what it is. So
Devin wants to know what season you were on because he didn't realize you were on the Great Christmas Light Fight.
They just forget about us old guys.
If you don't remember what season you were, Brian will probably chime in and tell you a season and an episode.
I was 4th year, I believe.
So I filmed 3 years after you did. That's crazy.
Yep.
And then aired
third or 4th year. I think it's 4th year though. But yeah.
Brian will correct us here.
Of course, we were one of the few. In the first 3 or 4 years, there wasn't that many pixel shows that were doing it. A lot of blow molds. Yeah.
And Doug was saying that's the most rewarding part of this hobby is how everybody comes together and helps.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a big family thing, I mean, we go to these different minis and, it's fun to hang out.
Yep. Even our buddy Bobby, who's literally part of the extended family.
Pork Chop Island resident.
Yeah, I get to see him this weekend. So
nice.
There you go. Good times.
Oh, and Doug says I'm right. The community needs a little bit of a reset. We make it special, and I think part of it is it's not so hard now. So a lot of the newer people coming in don't need everybody else,
right?
So they just push on themselves. Where before, you literally needed everybody's help to kind of get shit done.
You did. I mean, you were constantly bouncing ideas off of everybody, and it's like, I want to do this, but how do I do it? Because there's not a button for it.
Well, how much stuff happened on Brew Tank on Friday night?
Yeah,
that just from that.
How many props did we design in Brew Tank? On Friday? I mean,
the only one that comes to mind right now is
appropriate, depending on how late it was. But that's what we used to do.
It just made me remember.
Wait a minute, the mittens. How did it go?
There was some props made in that brew tank room.
There were some big ones.
Yeah.
Singing ones too. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun, But it was a smaller group, right? I mean, there might have been a couple hundred of us. It just didn't seem like it was just thousands upon thousands of people doing this, and it's like everybody knew everybody. And it's just but that's where what you did. You hung out, and we would.
The people
do
that you
stupid
would
things
call a friend right after they came in, you know, it was that type.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate because that was my first year, was 2018, right when we got started with it, and it was awesome. So I don't know how many drunken Friday nights there were in here.
Oh, there was a lot.
Yeah.
Like I remember that when I went camping,
Oh,
and I got to a whole nother level of drunk in the brew tank than just drinking at home with friends on the internet, which was kind of that was before COVID. It was a little weird then that we were just sitting at home drinking with friends on the internet.
Yeah.
But I went out in public and got ham-skied camping, and then fell on my face in brew tank. Yeah, I did.
Did.
On my face. Yeah, it was great.
I'm surprised he's still married after that.
Hey.
Because I think we were on the phone with you when you went back to the camper.
I think so.
I think
and
so.
Stumbling all around. You can imagine how loud that was.
Yeah, with little kids too. It was great. So Fred calls us old timer. He's calling you an old timer. I don't know about me, but definitely you. And he also wants us to remember about the old part of the community where you used to get bashed for asking a question. That did happen. That did happen.
That did. Yeah.
They still do that.
You know how to search in the group?
Oh yeah. Use the search bar.
Wait, there's what search bar?
And Chris says he still has a lot of blow molds. Is that? I didn't even know he had blow molds.
Chris is old.
Or is he asking if you still have blow molds?
No, I don't. I sold my blow molds. I had 300 plus of them. I sold them a long time
I know
ago.
you tried to send me that container one time.
Yeah.
That was a great Christmas light fight starter pack, man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, Doug might need some blow molds. He wants to try to get on the light fight next year.
Oh gosh,
There you go.
I don't have them anymore. I sold them. Sold those and a whole bunch of commercial pole hangers for municipalities. Had a whole bunch of those, and they
and
were.
Then, see, I told you, Brian. Season 4, episode 3.
Yeah, I lost because of a freaking. God, thanks, Brian.
Brian, do you have photos with the winners like you do with my episode?
Yeah, I lost to a blender motor. Yeah,
I lost to Play School houses. So
yeah, but anyway, we know the truth.
Doug says Vegas crew still helps each other out, so that's cool.
That is awesome.
And we still help all of our local guys out here.
Yeah, he's going to add that to your notes too.
Yeah, I know, right? I probably got a loser trophy over there on my wall.
Oh, Chris is now remembering brew tank nights, and he apparently almost called 911. I'm assuming he's talking about me falling on my face drunk.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Are we ready for the speed round?
Yeah.
Speed round.
Let's do this. So this is basically what you have currently at your house.
Okay.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
All right. So we want you to go through what you currently have at your house as fast as possible. It's the speed round. Same thing as we've done for, I don't know how many times.
Okay. Well,
let's go.
We've got 600 pucks that make a big matrix on the ground. I have a mega tree. I have another mega tree with a UFO on top. I have 12 arches, 3-foot snowflake under each one of the arches, and a 4-foot and 8-foot flat trees in between the arches, and trim on the house pretty much. And that's it. Like I said, I've scaled it down a lot.
But controllers,
everything's probably. There's a couple F-16s and then F-48s in receivers.
And software and scheduler?
I use X-Lights for everything, and I use Xschedule for everything. So, and I have just a little microcomputer that's like a little 6x6 box that runs the scheduler, and it does its little thing.
Pigtail preference?
X-Connect.
And what voltage?
There's only one. It's 12.
Even the old timer knows.
Right? I still want to use 24 just because you can do so much more with it. But anyway.
All right. Well, that was a good speed round. You were pretty quick on knowing your stuff.
Yeah, now, it's a small display. Now, if I was to do the old house, oh my gosh, it was so much more. But yeah.
Yeah, that the videos and stuff, and when you were on Life Fight, that was super impressive on the old house.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Between the Matrix on the roof and.
But here's the cool thing: is you still do a display.
Yeah.
Yeah, you moved. The house ain't great for it, but you still do a display. Like you've done a display for many years beforehand, and you're still continuing to do a display, even though you have a business in this and it's stuff. So that's what the cool part is. You know, there's people that Brian could probably mention on this that were on the Light Fight that literally just had a light show the year before, that on the episode the year after, and then never had one again.
Yeah,
you know, and that kind of sucks. You know,
and part of that
want to be on the show.
In our case, we understood that we could have a big show where we did it at, and because I've got drone shots where we counted 119 cars in front of my house. You know, because I had a school that was built across the street. They took the road and they widened it and made a 3-lane road with a turn lane. So it was the perfect house. And, you know, hopefully my Maddie and David, they're going to continue that tradition. They've expressed interest in it. So I guess I'll be buying another display and putting a display up at the old house, because again, it does really good. It's a great location for a drive up show. Whereas I enjoy doing it, and I'm actually going to try to do a Halloween show this year. It's my first year doing that because of another prop that I bought. You know, adult money's fun, but anyway,
right?
It's not ready to be out there, but some people might know. They can do some research.
Oh, careful! Shannon's watching.
Oh crap! Yeah, it was free. They just gave it to me.
It sounds like the pucks are going back to the old house.
We'll make more. So,
you know, a guy.
I just need some more custom strings that 10 pixels, 2 meters, 10, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And Brian wants to know if you still have the Matrix out of the really big lights.
I do. That was really crazy. So I think we took 160 really big lights, and
yeah, that was impressive. I was like,
and it was massive.
And at that time that aired, I had like 10 really big lights, right? And then I see that, and I'm like, holy shit, that's
we
cool.
bought a whole pallet of them. I called him up, and that was before Home Depot. He got a bad deal, and he got his name. Home Depot screwed him over.
And then Home Depot screwed him over, and then he got stuck in the Santa Rosa fires by us, and where he had the molds and everything burnt. So then that kind of killed the RBLs.
And then Home Depot stuck him with a lot of inventory that he had to buy back, and I think it just killed him. Again, another reason I have no desire to play with the big box store guys. Yep. Anyway, it's fun.
And then Fred's giving you credit because you're one of the few that still put on a show after the Great Christmas Light Fight.
Oh, thank you, Fred. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, when they do it, they don't realize how much attention it's going to draw from locals, because the local news is going to pick up the story, then they're going to advertise it, and all of a sudden you got people who would never have seen your show, they're going to try, and then you get your HOAs and people like that just try to shut you down. And I didn't have an HOA, but I also had the backing of the mayor and the police department, and all those guys were on board with it, and all we had to do was ask, and they would furnish whatever we needed to make it work. So
nice.
It is just all about location. So
Matt thought about not doing it because he didn't want to get too popular. But it's such a fun experience for the family. It's hard to pass on that. It's very unique,
It's definitely cool to see the behind the scenes and how they create a show. Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't you have work to do?
Yeah.
I want to get back to work.
So, do it. I mean, I would say do it. It's definitely a fun experience. There's ways that you can control your traffic after the fact. By limiting the number of songs. Don't put 20 songs in a playlist rotation. Put 2 or 3 on there and just let them rotate real fast, so you're moving people a lot faster.
He was never here.
He's never here. Clock out.
Wait, he's clocked in for you?
He's got to have about 3 time cards going on.
Getting triple time, baby.
Oh,
yeah, close family. Everybody knows everybody. Right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So let's get into hot or not a little bit. This is where we're going to talk about some of the new trends, and you tell us if you think it's hot or not.
Okay.
So I'll go with the first one, seed pixels, or pebbles as I call them.
So seed pixels, this piece of crap, I hate these. You know, and I get it. They're cheap. If you've got to buy adapters, it's not worth it. Go back to a bullet. You know, there's other options that are still giving the benefits of a seed, but are more robust than a seed is. So, yeah, no, seeds, they suck. I've said that from the beginning. So, sorry.
Yeah, the thing is they're cheap, but like
you're going to replace them.
Yeah, and then you got to figure all the time to put all the little covers on them. If you're going to put them in the Coro that have 12 millimeter hole, like, I'm sorry, but my time's worth more than that. Like, to print it and then put it all together. Yeah. Like, you're better off just buying something that's ready to go.
I mean, for the same price, you could buy something that's going to give you the same effect, and you don't have to do all the labor to it.
Yeah,
there's other options. Hang on.
And then the people will be like, well, that doesn't make it DIY. Well, seeds don't make it DIY. You're just making it more complicated.
Yeah, you're just adding more work to your
DIY. We were trying to make it easy.
Yeah, you still got to put that light in the hole. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, you're not buying a prop with a light already in it. So yeah.
You got one, Brian?
I do. I was going to bring up moving heads. Your opinion on the moving heads?
They have their place. I do like them. I'm not going to lie. I do like them. I don't have them. I just don't. That's a lot of money to spend for that bang, and it's not my preference at my residence. I do want to add some for the drive-through, but I have specific spots for that, right? I mean, that operating budget's a little different than my home.
Yeah.
But and it's different. It's also out in the middle of nowhere, and it draws attention from miles away with the right ones. So.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Maybe there's a company around here that can sponsor some.
Hey. That's the thing though with the moving heads is it's almost as bad as going on the Great Christmas Light fight, because those things are going to get everybody that could see them in your whole neighborhood coming to see where they came from.
Yeah, they will. And
yeah,
that's what I try to warn people with getting them is like, hey, these are huge attention getters. If that's not what you want, you probably shouldn't get moving heads.
Or if you get them, you got to spend the time to calibrate them and get them set up, right? I mean, that's the worst is people think that, I just put this out there and turn it on and it worked. It works, but you're going to have lazy eye and somebody's going to be over here and, and it's, I think what some of the people who use them properly, and I'll say, Tom Betgeorge I think he does a very good job at using moving heads.
Yes.
But ask him how much time he spends setting those up.
Yeah.
And it's a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah, you got to get them perfect to make them look like Disney.
Yeah, to take 8 or 10 heads and have them be able to point to the exact same spot 150 foot up in the air.
Yeah.
That's work. And he does it. He pulls it off. So, and there's other people that do it as well. Again, they're a lot of work and it's a lot of money. I mean, I don't know, what's the cost of a 350 watt moving head now? Still $700-800?
Like, what are we, like 6, 7? So.
Waterproof or with an enclosure, or I mean,
most of them are all waterproof now. Never enclosures needed.
Yeah, I just don't follow it, and and again, there's other liabilities with those things. I mean, you can catch crap on fire with them. I mean, you catch your own house on fire with it if it stays on and it's pointing at your roof. I mean, they get that hot.
They do get really hot.
So, just don't let your insurance know.
I don't know what I was going to say next.
You were going to talk about the deep dive.
Well, no. Normally I have one more hot or not one, but it's about layered Coro. But I know your opinion about layered Coro. You invented the shit.
It's awesome.
It's a lot of work on our end, financially and everything, because where do you store? It's bad enough storing 24 pallets at a time when you get a truckload in. and plus whatever else you already had in, and then to say, and that's just in black and white, and now all of a sudden I'm going to add 10 more colors.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you store all those? And it just eats up tons of room. But I will say, look, the reason I love layered Coro is if you need to add a pop of color, it's color through and through. You can be aggressive with it. It doesn't scratch. Yeah. I don't care whose printed Coro you're using, whether you're using mine or somebody else's. Digitally printed Coro, it scratches. I mean, it does. Our commercial stuff that we make some things like targets for the gel blasters and even paintballs. We put a 3M type of clear coat on it. It's a physical film that is applied, is laminated onto it to give it that durability. But again, it's another added cost. And, the residential level, some of our commercial guys do it. We do all of their stuff has a laminate on it. But it's just, I don't know if it's practical for the residential guys. Whereas I can give you a layered Coro for cheaper money, and it's something that's going to last, and it makes the Coro stronger because it's multiple layers of the Coro.
Yeah,
and it's a whole different prop when you take 2 layers of Coro and do that. And I can do some stuff. I mean, that's what the fleur-de-lis is. That's, it's a base of yellow with purple and green. That was just some of the first props that we did using layered Coro.
I have some of the first ones done.
Yeah.
And that was the cool thing about them is like with the letters, like I think that was the coolest thing you came up with was like doing the individual letters and then putting that red backer on it. Cause then you didn't have to try to zip tie all these letters every year in the drive-through.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, there they are.
Well, and
then it gave you that contrast
for the decor, right? It still looks great during the day. And then you can start playing around with the different thicknesses of Coro too. Because that's one of them where we use a layer of 4mm Coro because I don't need to be 3 layers of 10 mil. Yep. And the color worked out. We stock a green 4mm, so we can use that. And it just works. There's more of that coming. We got a ton of new stuff that's almost finished. I got to finish my commercial stuff right now. So everybody's kind of like all hands on deck, wrapping it up. We just finished 3 big shows. We've got another one that's really starting right now that it's got to have a ton of art made for it that we're still trying to wrap up.
I'll get my work done.
I got a smaller one.
Yeah, Brian.
I'll get my work done. I promise.
Well,
tomorrow morning I'm going fishing tonight.
Denied.
I'm fishing tonight.
What are you doing?
I hit the wrong button. So now we're going into like the deep dive discussion about your display that we do. You could talk about your drive-through or your house. It's a little bit of both because you don't have a lot at your house, but you have enough. But so what do you think is the most popular prop you have, like with your audience?
I mean, people love the singing characters, right? I mean, they love to see that movement, but they also like matrix panels. So if you're going to say at my house, I think my mega trees are still a huge draw because it's just got that wow factor, right? I mean, it's a 40-foot tall mega tree. Even the smaller one with the UFO is still 30-foot tall. But again, I can play movies on it, and they look good because the proportions are correct, and it works. And my yard's deep. My house is about 150 foot off the road, so I can get away with a 2-inch mesh, and it looks great. I mean, you see it. So
that's cute.
Yeah, it's
So have you ever had what's it? What?
But at the drive-through, we have the 50-foot tree, with the pneumatic pole that lifts it up. That's a pretty awesome tree. I ain't gonna lie.
It is a cool tree.
It is a very cool tree.
It's 96 strands of 300 pixels. I mean, come on, man.
That's sweet.
It's pretty awesome. So then the flight school was pretty good too.
I don't know who came up with that idea, but flight school, that is a cool section in your drive-through.
Yeah, I might have borrowed some deer that were previously used on a different project.
Maybe one day they'll end up in your store. I don't know.
We're working on it. I've actually had a request to make an 8-foot and 12-foot version. Those will end up in the store. So, I mean, an 18-foot tall reindeer is just not practical. I mean, let's be honest.
Why?
But I think they are on there.
Because you would 40-foot Santa.
I know. So that Santa's getting a toy bag this year. So you have a massive toy bag, and then it'll fall over, and it'll have the toys coming out of it. So we'll take like the 8-foot robot that we have and other iconic toys, and they'll be scattered out coming out of the toy bag.
Oh,
and
wow.
then the snowman gets added next to that. So
well, there is some gingerbread cookies that you might have in your files that he might need in his hand.
Not only that, but there's more gingerbread cookies that we're working on right now.
Oh, geez.
Somebody at another sequence store. I'm not saying any names, Rob. But, because we need more gingerbread cookies, right?
Yeah.
We already had 20. What's another 12?
Well, to be honest, if you put all the stuff that we've made on your website, they probably wouldn't ask for new ones.
That's true.
Because some might not know what does exist.
There is so much stuff that is not on store that we've done over the years. And some of it we couldn't share, because there were some NDAs, and there are some stuff that we can share now. And then there's some stuff that we hijacked and stole it back, and it's ours. And I didn't steal it back. It was always mine. But anyway.
Yeah. And then there's some stuff that people ask that's not practical to ship to normal people.
That is true too. And that's part of it, is how to scale it down so it's practical to ship and it's economical, because a 4-foot by 8-foot pallet to a residential with liftgate service, you don't want to pay that, because they make you buy a liftgate service and they can't even use the liftgate. It's an 8-foot pallet. So anyway. Oh, and they charge you $200 more because it's an 8-foot pallet now. Used to we could go to 8 foot. Now we actually cut the pallets down to make them 95 inches. But it saves $200. It is what it is. So next. Oh, do I just pick other things in my show?
Well,
I'm just waiting for Brian to, do.
I know. Well, see, he likes to just go on, so I got to kind of interrupt every once in a while. So it's got to get a word in edgewise.
Pick me.
So have you ever had any neighbor issues with your display? And if so, how did you handle them?
So when I moved, of course, like I said, it's a small town. Everybody knows us. My neighbors at our new location, it's an older subdivision. It's been around for 40 years. And I told myself I'd never live in a subdivision, but it's not a normal subdivision. I mean,
wait, let me send this link to Shannon real quick. Maybe we should hear from her.
You'll roll up in her freaking gown and everything, man. But anyway, she's on a R&R right now. I got this, even though she had fun. Yeah. The neighbors were scared of us, right? I mean, they knew what we did at our house. They knew I had a business that did Christmas lights, and they were paranoid, right? We bought this house in the subdivision. I've got an 8-acre lot, right? I mean, it goes all the way back to the river. I mean, these people were scared to death. My closest neighbor is 250 feet away from my house. That's house to house. I mean, there's nobody.
Wait, that's a subdivision to you? And
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My closest
Anything
neighbor
out of
is
the
200
city,
feet
JR.
away.
Not the city. Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I'm in the burbs, man. We're out in nowhere.
Gotta live in the burbs. You can't be off your porch.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't live on the back 100 acre.
Our suburbs are, you have 10 feet between your neighbors. Okay.
My front yard is bigger than most of y'all's lots, right? I mean,
exactly.
My front yard is like 250 by 150.
Yeah.
I mean,
put a city block in front of my house.
Yeah. In Canada behind you. So
well, no, that's going to be a 2-acre pond behind. I think I'm going to build. So, well, anyways, go ahead. Go.
So the neighbors knew what we did, and it was instant. I mean, we had people rolling up. The guy that thought he was the president of HOA and was trying to really just size us up, and it was just funny, right? I mean, so of course, the first thing I do is I want to build a shop. I need a workshop because I didn't have one at this place. So they came over. Why are you building it so big? Because I can. Why not? And one of the guys was like, well, there should be rules about how big you can build a shop. I said, oh, wait, there is. Because you got to realize, guys, I work for an architecture. I knew about all these different things. So I've already done my homework. I said, you can. According to the rules, I can build a 187,000 square foot workshop.
Nice.
I said, I'm only asking for 4,000. Not a big deal. And, oh my gosh. And he goes, well, if you're going to build it that big, you might as well put a steeple on it. And I was like, oh, tax cuts. Yeah, I like that. We might have to do that. So
Rolling up
it just
on
they
his
was,
golf cart.
it was
Forgot he
horrible.
rolled up on his golf cart.
He did. And, but it's an older subdivision, and unfortunately, some of them, one of them that gave me a hard time, he did pass away about a year ago, and the one that rolled up on his golf cart and hides in the bushes on my neighbor's yard to come and spy on us, he's not doing so well, but he's doing a little better. He's on his golf cart again, so I guess he's doing better. And they've calmed down. Some of them have.
Offer to put lights on his golf cart so he can.
Yeah.
No, hell no. No.
Be pimping it out.
They were worried that, we would cause all that traffic. And look, I was mindful. Again, we toned down the display. I didn't really advertise it. People just found it, right? I mean, that's the way you do it. People that knew where the show was at, they would come and find it. Very few places had the address listed so you could go find it. And so we maintained it. And after the first year, the lights themselves, I had some neighbors that were like, he would come over and he's like, man, I really appreciate you doing the lights. My kids came in from California. They love seeing the lights. And, they worried for nothing, but they were worried that we were going to run our business out of our backyard. And that was the farthest thing that we wanted to do. I mean, this is literally, we built this shop. We're still adding it and finishing it now, but it's a man cave, right? I mean, that's what it is. It's finally, let's go put the stuff in there that we want to do so we can eventually find some time to go spin back there, because I can't seem to find that. And my son and I, we play with cars and do whatever. And Shannon and Olivia is going to have a craft area in that shop. So it's just a place for us to get away.
Yeah.
That's what we built. That's why we bought the property, because it's just a gorgeous piece of wildlife. I mean, we have deer and turkeys and foxes and all kinds of stuff that come through our property.
Nice.
What it's for.
It's a cool spot.
Yeah.
So
I had the same problem when I moved in. Like, nobody complained about it, but I was on the lift putting up Halloween stuff, and everybody started coming over. And they all knew the year before I was on the TV show, because we bought it beforehand, and they rented it back. Oh, alligators. Yeah.
Yeah, we got alligators too. Sorry.
And they rented it back and so the whole neighborhood watched the episode. So as soon as I was on a lift to put up Halloween, the permanent lights for our first year there, everybody started coming over, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But they were all happy about it, so it was okay. But I had that panic, like, everybody's coming over, we're going to get the talk.
Yeah. And look, everybody's pretty much cool with it now. And the ones who aren't, well, I don't really care. I've reached that point in my life. Who cares? So we just do it anyway. But, it's like when we put a swimming pool in, and the one guy calls the city and he's like, oh my gosh, they're adding on to the house. So they're putting a home office in and stuff like that. And it was, we already had permits for it. I knew, look, and I'm a guy, I'll try to do something without a permit all day long. I don't care, but I knew I had to in this area. So permits were in place. We were good. So annoying people.
That always works.
All right. So we already talked about the evolution of your displays, and you kind of already did start fresh. So let's go on here. And what would be the top 3 light shows you would go visit?
To go visit?
It's going to be all places that he can wear his shorts.
Yep.
James wears shorts everywhere.
I know. He don't like pants. So
even in St. Louis, when there's ice on the ground, he's still in shorts.
Yep. Death, weddings. About it. It's the only time you get pants. Sorry. It has to be really cold for me to wear pants. No need. It's a comfy mid-70s in the shop all the time. So, hey, it's great. Now it's hot outside right now. Best displays, man. I've seen some pretty good ones. I don't know, man. I can get in trouble for calling out certain people, and then I'll forget somebody.
You're gonna get in trouble for not.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen so much.
You don't want to go see mine.
I still like really small shows that do a lot with very little.
Oh,
and I think people,
put your pants on and come up to Montana.
Put your pants.
Big boy pants.
Not gonna do it.
Come on, man. We'll go ice fishing. It'll be a blast.
Okay. we'll never get Shannon up there because she hates the cold.
Oh man.
Yeah. Look, I mean, you got the over-the-top displays, right? I'll say Tom Bettjord because he does such a production. That's what he does. I mean, he is one of the best at getting his information out there for everybody. And social media, he just works it. His crew, they do a great job. But there was I think it was actually season 1 of Great Christmas Light Fight. The one in Vegas. Pork chop lights. Hey, they get custom props.
You got people making suggestions for you,
right? Alan's house. He did a great job with a very small display, I thought. And I like to see when people are just they're creative, and again, it's not the same as what everyone else is doing. And it's like, man, why didn't I think of that? Or, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for, because I've seen so much and we make so much stuff. And it's like, I'm looking for something different. And again, it's with my drive-through is that's how I'm kind of rethinking things. When I go to make something now, we started out with a base display and now we're starting to make it ours, right? It's really the uniqueness of it. And it's like, what can I do that's out of the ordinary? Why not have a mega tree that has a UFO that can beam up cows and stuff on it?
So one of the houses James wants to see is his house.
Yeah, I mean, I love that stuff. And yeah, I guess you could hit with the pop culture stuff. That's always fun, but it's fads that go away. But hey, let's bring back Baby Shark. I mean, what the fox?
Oh God.
My kids love it. I probably should do the what does the fox say, because that actually is a fun song.
Does somebody make that sequence?
I don't think they do, and that's probably why I haven't put it in my show, because I don't sequence anymore.
That one sequence guy that asks you for stuff, maybe he should make that song, because my kids would probably love it too.
See?
I'm just saying.
The problem is he doesn't sequence. He just tells people to sequence.
True, but he tells people.
And then he makes more work for me. So
well, true.
And then he sends me. Anyway, I can't go there.
Yeah.
Probably watch. It's a customer. I got to be nice. The customer's always right. And
sure. I don't know.
No, but you got to say it.
Not always. Sometimes I got to be like, no. So, the best advice to somebody new coming into the hobby, what would you give them?
Look, ask. If you don't know or you're scared or worried about something, ask and cut pixels. Just cut it. Just cut it. Here.
Don't go to a big box store and then buy it, bro. And then ask how to hack it.
Yeah. You don't have to reinvent the wheel unless you're creating something new, right? If somebody's made a mega tree, there's lots of advice on mega trees. Use fire-rated Coro.
I'm sorry, Chris. That was not us talking. That was James.
Not all opinions of the show. If you don't know, Chris's house caught on fire because of Christmas lights. It happens, unfortunately. It also causes changes.
Too soon.
It's been
you
a
would
while,
do it to us, Chris. You would do it to us.
Right? Do I need to show you where the hole is in my wall from your dog? Anyway. It's still there.
Wow, how did we get all of the old brew tank chiming in now?
We do. We have a ton of them in here. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Now if we can just get JR drunk again. So
there we go.
Easy.
Well, I don't know. I have one more head trauma, and he might be down for the count. So
it's true. True. We cannot. If I have to go camping and drinking, I'm gonna probably have to wear a helmet if I'm in brew tank again.
I was thinking just bubble wrap the shit out of you once you lit. So
bubble boy. Yeah.
All right. What do you think the next must-have prop is?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it on here.
Okay. You don't have to, but.
Look, I mean, there's so many different ideas. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's out there. I know, man, we've done some crazy stuff.
There's a photo of me turned into a 6 foot tall piece of Coro.
I guess we can make that happen. We can layer that one.
No, you already did it.
I know.
Dude,
I even grafted you a new arm.
Make
Yeah,
it with
did.
the helmet. Make it
With
put
a
the
helmet.
helmet insert over the
The
top.
layered Coro helmet, please.
We could do that. So, we do have a Bigfoot.
You have a Bigfoot.
I got one of the first ones.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
crazy.
The first one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the next big thing is. It's always going to be something pop culture because that's just the spur of the moment type thing. Of course,
Can you make me a layered Coro of the Coldplay couple?
Does that go right there with the Bernie mittens? I mean,
Yeah, we'll make it with a motor so then the guy could dip out.
She flips around and he dips.
Yeah.
Shannon
says no.
No.
She vetoed that.
$20 is $20. How many Bernies did we sell for crying out loud?
Oh man.
A whole lot more than I ever anticipated you selling.
And people still buy them. I still got some back there. I mean,
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow.
Bernie of all things. And they order a lot of them without pixel holes, right? They just want the Bernie. I was like, well,
Hey, ask Tom how many hits are the website getting right now for Bernie searches.
Yeah. Everybody who doesn't know is going to be like, what the heck's Bernie on?
What are they talking about?
Well, when we went to Florida, we were playing around and we made the little Trump Grinch, y'all saw that. It was at a layered core. It was just for fun. Look, I don't take politics serious because unfortunately they're not doing that for our best interest anyway. But I had a customer. Oh, it was actually when we were at East Coast. One of our big customers, they were doing some stuff. He saw that. I gave him one of them, and now he's coming back and he wants to do other things like that and do like a Mount Rushmore of Grinches that are converted into other people.
Nice.
And one is Trump. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is just out of hand. This is the same people, we make our Bumble as the entrance to a tunnel. And he was like, I'm going to buy it, but you got to make me something else. I'm like, what's that? He goes, I need the Bumble butt. I'm like, that's brilliant. So now you can go in and come out the Bumble when you go through the tunnel. So it was pretty cool. That Bumble butt came out really nice. I was impressed.
Do you have any photos of your Bumble butt?
Let me get up real quick.
Yeah.
I might have a computer shot of it. I don't know. Can I share a screen on here?
Yeah. I think so.
Hang on. I might have it on my phone.
So while you're looking for that,
Oh, look.
oh, you got it.
Oh yeah, there's his.
Oh, nice.
She's got that in the hair. It's somewhere around there. Go ahead.
I was just going to say or ask about
buffering.
awkward or funny interactions with show visitors.
Porter comes to your house from Florida and doesn't even knock on your door.
Oh, really?
Really?
That was a long time ago. Yeah. He actually made the trip up here. I don't know why. Anyway, that was the sketch I made for the Bumble butt.
Oh, his foot was up too.
Yeah, because I didn't want just both legs down. So I had to do something a little more creative.
Brian wants to know if you use brown pixels.
They were actually hooking a fog machine up to its butthole.
Nice.
Sorry. I can't control what you do with it once you get it. So, I might have to go find the computer version. So
was that the awkwardest thing? Is Bill Porter just going by your house and just?
And we joke about it back and forth now. And of course, he gripes every time we drive going to Florida and we don't come stop in over there. But it's an hour and a half off the interstate, man. Get off it.
Yeah.
But I love Bill. Great guy. Good friend. Look, kids running in your yard that you want to kill. Yeah, those. You almost want to like have a sniper rifle and take them out when they try to run through your yard. That used to be a big problem. Because we had tons of stuff. Y'all know there's cables everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So But
we used to put signs out, and that didn't stop anybody.
They can't read. Bumble, but
so
ignore. I don't know. Can I share? How does your share work?
You want to send it? Send
Well,
it to
I
me,
think
and I
you
can
could-
bring it up. Or
I think
can
you
he?
could share.
If he's a guest, I don't know if he can.
Yeah, hang on. Just let me.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is gonna do. Oh wait, here we go. Standby. Select window. Browser can't access. Oh well. There.
Somebody wants a matching butt.
I don't know if I can get to it because I got to scale it down because it's so big.
Yeah, his is a lot bigger.
Sorry. This is a big pedestrian. It's a big tunnel. Let's see. Copy. Is there a chat here? I don't know if that worked. Guess it didn't. Save. Desktop. But well, have I got one?
Aaron does awesome work with PowerPoint. If you need backup.
If you need PowerPoint art.
I think he designed some stuff on PowerPoint.
Yeah, he's a great PowerPoint artist.
All right, you got it.
Yep, I got it.
Look, you remember making models with Excel? Clyde Lindsay was like the Excel model making guru, man. That's how we used to do this stuff. I mean,
yeah,
there were stupid things that we used to do for this hobby. Bumble butt.
There you go.
Ta-da! There's the bumble butt.
That's pretty cool.
It did. I was happy with it. It came out.
Yeah,
it was all
that's
King of Coro, and so no print. It's scratch resistant and durable.
Yeah, and then later on, if you need a Rafiki, you got his ass too. The little Lion King going.
Yep, just change the color. So
Aaron's rusty on his artwork, and
we'll sharpen that up.
There's both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So fun stuff. Everything's drawn in CAD.
All right, so the last question about your display and everything. What is your dream prop? Not something you can make, something you have to buy. Like something you've seen at one of these shows and you wish, like, maybe I should put that at a house or a drive-through or something.
I still want the holograms, right? I want this holographic type stuff. Unfortunately, I would have to have somebody like Jordan do all the graphics for me. You know, can do all the video and stuff because I don't know how to do that. But I love that where you can be immersed into it, right? And just completely encapsulate you is kind of something that I want. Again, you look at like the wormhole that we do, right? It just totally brings you into there, and all of a sudden you're in this room in which we've made a pod, which it is a room, right? You go into it and you're just completely surrounded by the pixels. It's all out of Coro. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. Not practical, but this whole hobby is not practical. So it fits right in. So, I want to see where holograms go and being able to project the holograms and have that three-dimensional object. I think those little spinny fan things are getting really close.
Yeah.
But they'll whack your arm off. Right?
Have you seen the ones in Vegas?
Yeah.
In the dome?
In the dome. I've seen
that whole wall.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, and now you see the one where the drone goes up and it's holding like a big wall of them.
Yeah.
And they're spinning and stuff. And I mean, there's so much you can do with that, but there's got to be ways to do it without that spinning feature of death and make it practical, it I don't want to have to put an acrylic enclosure on it as well. You know, I think it takes it doesn't hide it anymore. Well, those little fans, I mean, if you don't have people going up to them, they just disappear.
That's pretty cool.
Transworld, that guy that had a whole bunch of different types at Transworld, man, they were just really cool. But again, not practical to do 100 linear feet of it. So
Not yet.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go on the rapid fire question.
We got a whole section. We haven't had a vendor on in a while, so we have a whole section to talk about Boscoyo. But before we get started with that, I kind of wanted to bring up.
Let's do the questions real quick. Well, what do you want to bring up?
Well, it was going to be about the open house that he has started to do every year. When is it? So, do you have a date for next year? And if so, when I bring my son, can we go out in the boat?
Here we go with personal questions.
Might be a select few. Maybe we can figure out how to go down to the camp and go hang out for a couple of days. Get you on some redfish or something. So,
there you go.
Fun.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun to do something like that. And I could only imagine the stories that'll come from that trip.
Oh, yeah. Well, no phones or cameras allowed.
We haven't picked a date.
I might need a helmet.
If we do a crawfish boil, it'll have to be in the beginning of the season, right? It's kind of that Easter to Mother's Day range because that's when crawfish are in season. So we're kind of limited by that. The year before that, we couldn't do it because it had to be too late in the season. I think the whole crawfish thing did really well. I think people enjoyed it. So, I'm looking to do it again. I'm assuming it'll be sometime around April, in April at some point. It's really, we just need to look at the big events that are going on that take us out of the shop and make sure that we're available to do it. I mean, that drives kind of everything, the business. And then, we don't want to step on any toes, but, sometimes it happens. I think there was a conflict last year.
Yeah.
Another mini going on and somebody.
Another mini. And then I couldn't even go because my flights got canceled. It was like, you jinxed me.
You should have got another flight and come down this way. Sorry.
There you go.
Options, man.
Yeah.
So make good choices, right?
All right. So let's get into the questions from the people, and then we'll go into the vendor stuff a little bit. So Devin wants to know what your favorite Christmas song is.
I like oddball stuff. You can ask my wife. It's normally the stuff that's not super mainstream. I love remixes, where you're things like Santa Man, which is a Metallica cover, or I do love What Does the Fox Say? I mean, I like it. Just because I had so much fun. Or, Bare Naked Ladies doing Jingle Bells, right? I've got a custom mashup, and you can search it. It should be on either YouTube or Vimeo. I did a custom mashup of that song, whatever the hell it is. It's not the money one, it's the video one. How's that? And it's the Bare Naked Ladies, but I had my Christmas tree and the snowman were talking. The snowman was like hosting, right? And he goes on, and so we start the song, and it's a slow version of Jingle Bells, and then the snowman chimes in, stops them, So it was just, that was when, honestly, the display was the most fun, is doing stuff like that. And when you see that video, cool. You go and find it. It was me having a lot of fun because, it's my voice in there. I did voiceovers and, it's like, whoa, stop. What are you trying to put them to sleep? And then, he's like, let's pick it up a little bit. And then it comes out with this hard rock version. And then he has to chime in and slow him down. And then it takes off with the Bare Naked Ladies. So it's 3 different versions all into one. And I would do that kind of custom stuff. Same thing with Let It Go, all the Frozen stuff. Man, that stuff just wouldn't go away, but you had to play it every year because that's what the kids wanted, man. Yeah. And so I did a mashup that took, like 3 or 4 of the songs, and it was just a little bit of each one, so it wouldn't destroy the humanity of the parents. And it just kind of, you kept your sanity, and I didn't have to go nuts sequencing it. But I don't sequence that much anymore, and I miss it, but I don't miss it. I could think of other ways to spend 8 hours per minute of song to do my life. But yeah.
Derek's down for another open house.
Well, come on down. So yeah, but we'll post it. I mean, of course, it'll always be there. Shannon does a great job Definitely have to bring some boudin balls. Got some options now. Some new players out here that do boudin, and they do some stuffed ones with pepper jack cheese. That's pretty good. So anyway,
Ooh,
yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so now we're going to get into questions about Boscoyo. So, tell us a little bit about Boscoyo.
How did the name start? Because I know I know that story, but a ton of people.
Where did the name
It's a boring story. It's not that great, but
I got that question a lot. Is okay. Well, how did he come up with Boscoyo? I'm like, I don't know, some tree or something. So
there's a lot of things, and honestly, it goes back to before Christmas. Before Christmas was our thing. Boudin war. That's expensive war. The name Boscoyo, when I was trying to figure out what I'm going to name this company, and at that time I was doing a lot of things like awards, and it was just a hobby. It's all it was, but it was making money, and then I had to create a business. So I wanted something that was unique, that wasn't a big deal. So originally it was going to be called Cypress Knee Studio. The domain name was available. I bought it. That's what I'm going to do. I go to the Secretary of State and somebody already had the name registered. It's like, oh, well, I own your website. Anyway, so back to the drawing board. But I wanted these things that had ties into Louisiana. The thing about a cypress knee is nobody knows what the heck it does. It's this weird root thing that comes out of the ground for a cypress tree. Some people say, oh, it comes out of the water to help the tree breathe. Nobody knows. And I thought that's a great connection, right? Nobody knows what we do. I don't even know what we do, but it's a business. And so I wanted that tie into Louisiana. So if you look at our logo, the original one's with the O shape, it has that cypress tree and the Boscoyo name on the side of it. It's normally supposed to be standing up. Ed Smith likes to rotate it and lay it down and kill my tree. It's just what he does. Sorry. And then since I had to go back to the drawing board, and where I went was to Canada, went to Brian's homeland. And the French word for cypress knee is Boscoyo. So the French Acadians were the ones who settled the area that we live in. So when they came down, voila. So that's it. Boscoyo simply means cypress knee. The domain name, of course, wasn't available. Somebody actually had the word Boscoyo, and with an emphasis on the Y. I ended up buying it eventually. So I own the Boscoyo.com as well as BoscoyoStudio.com, which is what we've always used. And that's it. It's not a glamorous story. It was just me overthinking a name, kind of, sort of. The advantage, I didn't have to fight with all the people who are trying to get holiday and Christmas and this and that in their name, so to compete with all the other people out there that are trying to put Christmas this and holiday that in their name. And it works. And it's a B. It's high on the alphabet list. So
yeah.
And it works, right? We created our brand. You can go and you start typing in Boscoyo, you ain't gonna spell it right, and it'll get to us. I mean, you'll find it. It's just it's that much of a unique name that it easily finds us.
So what made you make your logo horrible?
What?
No, your logo's cool. But as somebody that used to do some art for you, that was hard to place in like catalogs and all this stuff, because it was
that logo was back
taller
when
than it was wider. No, it wasn't.
No.
I'm kind of.
I did. That's why. And whenever I bought the Boscoyo domain, that's when we dropped the studio, and it just became the rectangular, horizontal instead of the vertical. But again, you can kind of see it. That's the original logo. Move over. I mean, that's one of them. You can kind of see it.
It was just always hard to put in your catalog.
No, I totally agree. And that's why you look at it now. We have both versions. And then that logo is actually embedded in the O of Boscoyo. So we still kept it. It just got shrunk down, made smaller. So
I'm not going to read that out loud. We'll just put that one for people to read. We're not going to.
I'm saying that out loud.
Anyways.
You check the batteries in your fire alarms?
Oh, wow. We're going there again. Jeez. How many employees does Boscoyo currently have?
I don't know.
Shannon.
Ran out of fingers.
I don't know, 9 or 10, somewhere up in there. We don't rotate employees too often. We did lose one. His dad got him a job somewhere else, so he left us. But it's around 10 or so full timers, so not too bad.
Nice.
Too many? How's that?
So something that's not on the normal questions here, but I've been kind of interested in this with other people, is how did you start doing props and stuff for Christmas stuff? Like you started doing trophies and stuff, but then how did you end up being the Christmas Coro King?
See, I don't, whatever. I'm not HR, so anyway, I just make things. So, that's the problem solver in me, right? I mean, and again, 16 years when I went to school, I started out in mechanical engineering, just really wasn't what I wanted, and then went into architecture and just fell in love with architecture, and was lucky enough to have a opportunity to work in that field for a long time, and that's what I liked, right? And when I got to the corporate level of architecture, it wasn't so much getting the design, right? I mean, you did some, but it just wasn't the same. And this kind of filled a void for me, being able to design things and problem solve. Case in point, the first product we made was the Megatree mounting strip. That was the very first product that we sold as a Boscoyo product. And it solved the problem. How do you make a Megatree? My first Megatree, I made it with hardware cloth, 1/2-inch galvanized hardware cloth. And I still have scars from whenever I cut all that crap up on my arms. And hey, it's like, there's got to be a better way. And the next year we came up with something, and there it was. And then, again, what were we using for props back then? We were using plywood. Can you imagine building some of these Coro props that we do now out of plywood and having to paint them and all that?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I did it. All right. I mean, my first props were, and it's like, there's got to be a better way. Let me start finding something. So we found 10mm Coro, and it's like, this is what we need to use. And so we never left it alone. We've always modified it. Our Coro that we use, we have UV additives to them. We have the flame retardant into them, and it was all because of problems that came up over time. Mm-hmm. So, is there a better product out there? I haven't found one. I haven't found one that we can afford. Let me rephrase that. There's some other stuff out there that's good, but you thought a 4-foot prop was expensive. Now I can promise a $400 4-foot prop is really going to blow your mind. But there's some other props out there, or other materials, but myself and even the other vendors, I don't think we found it yet. That's the right, the balance, right? It's got to meet that economical value to make it worthwhile to doing. So
it's got to be wanted by the community and
accepted. I would say accepted by the community.
Yeah, but like I said, I can't buy a product that cost me, $300 raw material cost, right? I mean, we just can't afford. The hobby wouldn't support that. And people have tried to use the PVC, which there's some great PVC products out there. They're expensive. The expanded PVC, it's great. It's got flame retardant in it. It's expensive. And it breaks. I hate to say it, to get the thinner stuff, and it just doesn't work like Coro. Coro has that flexibility, which makes it work. So Coro's I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. It's going to be, it has to, and there's just nothing else to replace it yet. I don't think 3D printing is the way to do it.
Let's not go. Anyways, moving on.
So you didn't. Hold on. We didn't even say like how he got started. Like he talked about the stuff he came out with, but then how did that turn into a business for Christmas stuff?
Well, like I said, it was all about the problem solving. The Megatree mounting strip was the first product, and I can tell you, we used to do group buys. I mean, it was really even before Boscoyo was Boscoyo. We were doing these group buys on do-it-yourself Christmas and stuff like that, and because we were small. I mean, right? I mean, we're just the backyard kids. Didn't have no money. We're just doing this. And so how do you buy, a $4,000 pallet of, material to go and turn around and cut it up into 1-inch strips? So we do a group buy and buy it and cut it all up and then fulfill the orders. And that's how it started. And then, it's once you do that, it's like, well, what's next? What do we do? And I was doing that while I was working a full-time job, still doing my 50, 60 hours a week, doing architecture and stuff. So
so it was like you were coming out with cool stuff, and then everybody wanted it.
Yeah, I mean
You know?
I mean that's how it started. Everybody wanted to buy what you were making, and it's a great problem to have. I mean, granted, we had a very small audience, and to get access to them through the forums and the chat rooms and stuff that we used to use, it was easy. You didn't have to advertise, right? I mean, hey, look, this is what I got, and everybody bought it. I mean, it was just that easy. You had your audience. Now there's so many people in the hobby now. It's like, how do you get access to them? Because I can promise there's people new to the hobby that have no idea who I am.
Right.
I mean, even though we're the oldest person using 10 mil Coro out there,
well, I think you're probably the oldest, like,
actual
person
vendor
selling RGB light show stuff.
Yes.
Like everybody else came after you.
There was a couple people that were doing some LED stuff with mini lights and stuff, but there was one person. And then as we skipped that, right? We went straight to the RGB, and everyone followed that. Ed Smith gave me a roll that he had purchased and didn't use, I guess, for the museum one day. I got them on my shelf over there of the original that had just the two holes to box them together.
So Brian Michaels wants to know, do you think the commercial big box props would ever catch on as Coro?
There's potential there, right? I mean, the people like GE, Govee, those guys are already trying to do it. They're going to figure out some way to do it. Are they going to do Coro? Probably not. I think it's all going to be plastic injection molded stuff that's going to be really fast, cheaply produced in China. I mean, that's what it's going to be. You'll see that kind of stuff come out. I don't think it'll be in the same as, the quality or the rigidity of what we do here. We're trying to get multiple years out of this thing and really use it for a long time. I just don't think you're going to get that out of some of the props that are going to come out of Home Depot and Lowe's and Walmart.
Big box stores don't have on their holiday decorations, none of the requirements is lasting for more than 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years,
they're happy. 1 year is acceptable in their eyes.
Can't return it, they're happy. Yeah. So, and it's just a different. Look, I've had dreams of trying to do things for the big box stores. And again, I've heard horror stories from people I know in the business because there's no way. It's just not worth it. It'd be great. You could retire, I guess. I mean, if it worked for a couple of years, just not care. Look what Froggy's Fog did. They put their cheapest possible smoke machine in, the Lowe's that sold it?
Lowe's.
And I don't know what that deal was, but that's just a regular Spirit Halloween fog machine, and they slapped the Froggy's Fog logo on it to work off of their name. I mean, I hope they made money off of that licensing deal, I guess.
Well, they had the Fobble too at Home Depot. I mean, Lowe's.
Do they really?
Yeah, they had a newer, a
cheaper version.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can imagine my big Fobble machine would be for sale at Lowe's. Yeah. So. Or a Geyser. Yeah. So I'm not going to be in Home Depot, Lowe's. That just ain't going to happen. I don't want to get broken. So I'm hoping my kids take over this thing. Are they listening? So
probably not.
No, they're
at concert.
One of them's at a concert.
Yeah.
Tell them to take the week off, Dad. Bye.
So what do you think is your most popular prop going out the door?
Look, I
know it's hard.
No, it's actually not. I can tell you the basic props are constant sellers. Candy canes, snowflakes, spinners, those things are just, I swear, my guys ship that out every day. And I think that it works well, right? Those are HR sleeping. Yeah. Slacker. She was drugged, right? No major decisions could be made. And look, I was like the drug Nazi. It's like, time to take your drugs. Let's go. On the dot. So anyway, you have your standard stuff, which always sells. Everybody needs them. Everybody wants them. They're the basics, the trim for your windows. And then you start doing your accent props that really make it your show, whether it's a singing tree or, you know, things that have crazy numbers of pixels, like a, you know, a mesmerizer or whatever, you know. There's mixed feelings on that. You know, I don't think every prop needs to have 600 pixels. Yeah. I know the pixel sellers like that, but that's beside the point. Well, but I think you need focal points, and then you need filler, right? To really fill up your show and make it look good, so you don't have just all these huge black spots. And then you have your certain pieces that for this song, this prop is the primary prop that's doing something. And then it may not even come on. I'm gonna switch over to this prop for the next song, right? So you want those high definition type things that allow you to switch the focus of the audience and really keep them entertained, so it doesn't look like the same show for every song. And I think people fall into that trap, is they get stuck doing the same looking effects over the entire show. So it doesn't matter what song it is, but they all look the same.
Or they just fill it with high density props, and you basically just got a huge matrix out there, and you can't tell
and
what's going on.
A whole house effect on it, yeah. And look, I love high density props, I really do, but I think there's a limit to how many you should use, and it's all display specific, right? This coming from the guy that won't let me put an 8-foot snowflake on his roof. I'm just saying.
He wants a really big one for his roof.
He keeps saying he's out of room. I'm like, you got a roof right there. I mean, let's go. So you could. You
48 channels LOR.
I know, right?
Jim, half the people watching this don't know what channels are.
Jim's over there doing his display. On. Got his light switches.
So, okay, real quick follow-up question. Because, I mean, I've seen that 55-gallon pail of the HD pixel mounting strip. How many feet do you go through in roughly?
Many miles. I really want to go back and see how much of that stuff we've sold over the years.
Oh, yeah.
To see how far out I could go.
No, right.
I can get a ballpark answer to that.
Oh, can you really?
Yeah, I mean, I know how much I order and when I order, so I mean,
we should make that into a contest.
Yeah.
Good.
So while you do your math,
you
do two things at once. What makes you different from other vendors?
Most copied man in Coro, man. What are you talking about? There's 2 commas in that number. That's
Is there really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking how much I've ordered this year, how much I order a year of the raw material, because we buy raw material from the company that extrudes and makes our strip, and then once we get it in, we process it and put the holes in it. And so I designed a custom machine that sits there and rolls that material through it. And I just had a new set of dies. I say just a year ago, I had a set of dies where I could run 2 at a time. And so we can process 1,000 linear foot or 1,000 foot roll, which is actually normally about 1,100 feet. So if you buy 1,000 foot roll, you get about 1,100 foot on the roll, because we don't cut it off. It is what it is. It's however much it is. And so we can process those, and you can do 1,000 foot roll or 2,000 foot rolls in 10 minutes, roughly. Is about how long it takes to process it through it, and then you rewind it back up onto spools, or you wind it up in the 500s or 200s, whatever you're buying. But yeah, over 1 million linear feet of that stuff a year. So it's insane. So
wow,
crazy.
So Chris is bringing up old shit.
Well, you have a bucket. and all your pixels are in this bucket. That's a universe. It's a universe cup. So
apparently Doug says you're so busy you can't get certain things done.
I am so slammed right now. Sorry. We all are. You know, it's unfortunate. We're trying to slow down certain areas, you know, force ourselves to do other things on the weekend instead of working. every day, even though we still end up working every day. It is what it is. And if you don't have enough to do, you do a drive-through just to give you something else to fill up some of your dead time.
Yeah, when you first were like, I'm going to do a drive-through, I was like, oh, you really have time for that, James?
No, I'm glad I did, but it is what it is. I did a drive-through back in 2017, and now I'm doing another one. So it's fun. It's.
So what does make you different from other vendors?
What does what?
What makes you different from other vendors?
Besides being the oldest, a lot of the things we do is we truly are trying to figure out and solve problems. It's not just, oh, look what that person did, let me make something, or find new ways to do it. I mean, that's where the layered Coro came from, and the mega tree mounting strip. Yeah, when we first started making mega tree mounting strip, it was 8-foot pieces you had to put together. Well, there's got to be a better way, so we're still innovating that. And that's how we got to the rolls. And then there was tons of problems. I can tell you 100 different ways to make a continuous roll of mega tree mounting strip that don't work, and how to maintain spacing and stuff. We'll feed you. Come on down. There's always food. Sorry. But I love the problem solving side of it, and I don't get to do as much of it as I used to. And some of that is a victim of our success. And as we're bringing in like people like my son Peyton, being that he's drawing now, and that helps and get him trained and to understand that it's not just pixels or holes in a prop that make the prop. There's thought that go why you're putting it there and how you're doing certain things. And look, there's a lot of people making props now. I mean, there really is. You're welcome, and glad we could help you out. And I can remember, should I say his name? I mean, I can remember back in the day when Jason, my house was his house was covered in my props, and Jason and I talk. It's funny, My wife gets mad at me because I talk to him too much. It is what it is. But it's a big hobby now. There's a lot of people. I don't know if they're all that way, but there's some screw ups out there. But the drawing the pixel paths on the back or having the models built into X lights and stuff. Well, that's where we were. That's what we were doing. That's what we're talking to those guys. And you're talking to Keith, and I can tell you, like on Brew Tank, we would go in there and we'd go into a breakout room, and Keith and I would talk about a problem or how I want to do something. And freaking 20 minutes later, he's like, here, open this. And it's, he's got that idea turned into a new feature in X lights. Or, same thing with Scott Hansen and Gil. And I never really worked with Dan that much, but those guys are amazing what they do. And they're willing to listen to us vendors to help solve problems. But I don't know. I guess I know we're not the only one doing it. We're definitely the longest kind of helping innovate that and push those boundaries of what we do and how we do it, for others, and just kind of blaze that trail, if you will.
So one of the things I think that makes you different than everybody else is like, you're not just coming out with props to sell props. You're coming out with stuff and innovating stuff because you actually do this, and you are coming out with ways to make it easier because you do it too, Because
I came across that problem. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's not just like, oh, I think this will sell. And I think that's where a lot of the copying comes in from people is like, oh, quick buck,
Yeah.
Which none of the other.
Definitely, I mean, we all know the vendor, but, back in the day when it was really just the two of us out there, as soon as I throw something down, the next day he had it out there as well. I mean, it's just the way this hobby is, unfortunately. And what's funny is we start doing this stuff with Transworld, and you see the Halloween side of it, and they're just as bad, right? They've been doing that show forever, and I can guarantee one company is going to bring something unique to that trade show. Next year, there's going to be 20 companies with that same type of product, and it's just people see the success and they do it. We looked at patents when I was looking to patent the mega tree mounting strip, and I was told no by 3 different intellectual property attorneys, and the last one was like, he really explained it. It made sense, right? Because you got to realize this is back when, oh wow, we did $60,000 in sales this year. Okay, so this attorney goes, are you gonna enforce your patent if you get it? And I'm like, well, what does that take? He's like, well, you got to sue them. He said, so are you willing to spend that money? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you're willing to spend $60,000 to $80,000 to take them to court? And I'm like, no, no way. In hindsight, I wish I would have, but it is what it is, because now the Chinese knock it off and with an inferior strip, and you get other vendors that used to sell it and they contact and they're like, look, I'm tired of having my ass handed to me because this strip is crap. And, it doesn't hold up to the weather as well. It's, for whatever reasons, or the inconsistency in spacing and stuff. And I saw a video not too long ago of them making, I don't know which vendor it was in China, and they showed their machine making it. And I'm like, my God, that's as slow as that thing runs. I mean, because could you imagine running 1 million linear feet through that thing? And it's like, and I'm like, there's no way. But I know why it's off. I mean, because I've been through that. That was one of the first types of machines I made, was a C-punch type machine. And I guess that's the difference, right? I've got that design mentality from both a professional use and then my education, is how to make those things and understand why things do what they do. And so I got 3 machines here that can make a continuous strip. 2 of them don't work. I can't sell it. But the last one works really well. So, and it's amazing how much money we spent to develop that machinery, right? It's a one-of-a-kind machine that sits there and makes that roll. And it's dead on every time. It'll be whatever I make this week is going to match what I make 2 years from now.
Nice.
Which is nice. So is what it is. To me, that's what makes us different. Look at, we have material that we call V5. Well, the V5 isn't because we changed the design of that prop. Like when you talk about trim, house trim and stuff like that, the V5 refers to the material that we're using. That's been through 5 different iterations of material, and for good or bad, we made changes, and we wanted to see how other products would work. And now the material that we use in its 5th mixture, because it's a compound that we make or have made to help resist expansion and contraction, the brittleness, so it's always soft, and things like that. That's all things that we take into account and constantly evolve, even our raw materials. So and once we're happy and we don't see a need to change it, then we don't move it. The Coro, we've been using the same Coro mixture since the fires. 3-4 years now. We haven't changed it again. So I don't know. I guess that's the difference, is I get all up into the science of that plastic. We want to look on the molecular level of how that stuff's made. And it's just what we do.
Yeah, and then you're so good at that, other people use your plastic.
And then we make stupid, crazy machines that hopefully I'll finish and can create these crazy things.
And you can make really cool things if you ever get your ass to finishing things.
3D, man. We'll have to do a tour of that thing.
Chris can confirm.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah. So
where do you see Boscoyo Studio in 5 years?
We're still going to be making props. I don't think it'll go away. I think you're still going to have props. As long as people keep getting into this hobby, we'll have a job.
Mm-hmm.
It dies up if people, for one, you don't innovate, right? If you're not putting out new stuff that really is a game changer, then the hobby's going to die. And that's all of us, between what we do, what Matos does, and everybody else. If it's the same stuff, people are going to get bored with it. And so if you're not putting something new that really gets their attention, the hobby will die. I mean, that's the problem, is the hobby itself. People go find something else. I mean, it's a commitment to put these shows on. I think that's why you see a lot of them that go away, is because it's a lot of work to put a show on.
Yeah.
So, but it's worth it. What are you yelling about?
What? I still put up a show at my house, and usually in 2 weeks. I usually order the props like a week before that.
Yeah.
No, you send the artwork 3 weeks before that, and then
Then I make sure Brian works for James.
Well, that's the bad part, right? So everything's different now. Everything's changed, right? So used to we would get the art, we would design the prop, put the pixel placement, and we could cut the prop and just send it off to get a model made, right? And then so it was okay, because by the time the model got made, he was getting the prop so we could put it together. Now I got to design it, send it off to get a model, wait on Brian.
Do the wiring path. Sorry, I'm going to teach Bobby how to do it.
And the cutting's the last thing, and that's what we do. And we're still going back and fixing all of our legacy props, and the major ones we've gone and updated. You'll see updates in all the models, and so you'll see the ones that we went and fixed pixel paths to make it so you didn't have to splice it or put a null pixel in. And we're just making updatings, and all of our props at some point in time will have a pixel path on. I know I've been saying it forever, but it's just such a stupid amount of work. Anything new that we make, everything that is made from the last 2 years gets a pixel path, no matter what. That's just across the board. And we don't charge for it. It's always been free. It's such a minimal expense to do. It is an extra step for our in-house guys, but at the end of the day, for me, it's worth it. I think the customer needs it, wants it.
It's a lot of U-line Sharpies.
It is. I mean, it absolutely is, but they're cheap. And that's why I'm saying, I mean, it cost me 50 cents for a marker that I can run 20, 30 sheets out of. That's cheap, and yeah, it takes 4 to 5 minutes to do a pixel path, but it's cheaper than doing, direct printing with a big printer.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't want to, we don't have to charge for it. It's just an ad service that we do. A lot of the things we've never charged more for, when it cost us more money to have the flame retardant put in the Coro. We didn't raise our price. We just absorbed it. It wasn't enough to be a problem. So
that brings Matt's question here, which I can't wait for you to answer it, because I believe you don't use tariffs for anything.
At all.
No, zero. Everything's American made. So, and granted, I don't sell pixels for the most part. I do sell pixels, but it's typically when we're doing full turnkey commercial work. But even that, those guys know how to get around the tariffs. So we just had some stuff delivered that didn't have tariffs on it, but I don't know how they do it. Don't care. But yeah, all of our stuff is American made, American design, American built. So all American materials. So yay us. Now I will say we had a scare because what I didn't know is the flame retardant material. I don't know why this keeps being the topic of the day, but antimony is the product that's used to do flame retardant. Guess who the #1 manufacturer of antimony is? China. And when I say the #1 manufacturer of it, when you look at the bar graphs, here's China, here's their closest competitor. And it's not even the US. It's like some other crazy country, and then Canada's in there, then the US is in there. But the problem with antimony, and you would think it's a flame retardant, the #1 use for it is munitions, for making weapons. And I'm like, that's really weird. Why would you use something that's for flame retardant to make an explosive out of it? But anyway, they do. So we got a notice that said basically China is limiting the amount of antimony they sell. They're keeping it all, basically. They're hoarding it. And they did a 7,000% price increase on the material.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, okay. So I get my Coro vendor calls me up and they go, look, we just got this note. There's going to be a price increase. Okay. She goes, it's going to cost you another $18 per sheet. What? She goes, there's going up 7,000%. She sent me the letter from the company that supplied it. And I'm like, holy crap.
Wow.
I'm like, wait a minute. It only cost me $2 to add flame retardant. And now you're telling me it's going to cost me another $18 to add flame retardant to it. And luckily, they honored the price on my next order. And then this past order we just got, we had to do some price increase, but it wasn't that drastic, thank God. But yeah, I mean, that's how the tariffs are impacting us. really indirectly, even though we get American supplied products, some of their raw materials are going to be outsourced. And unfortunately, that flame retardant is one of them. I don't know what we're going to do. It did increase our raw material cost on all of our Coro. So that's still something we got to evaluate. So
you could change one thing and start Boscoyo differently or do something different, what would it be?
I wish I would have went out on my own sooner. I had a nudge, I was put in a position with my job that pushed me into going full time. That I wish I would have taken that step a lot sooner. Because we had the business going for several years, and Shannon would ship packages during the day. I would come home at lunch and reload machines, and take orders to the drop off and stuff like that back in the day. But I wish I would have just went on and just jumped on in a little faster. And I'll share the story. It's nothing crazy, but I was running a project for this huge conglomerate company that was in Texas. And basically I was told I either have to relocate to Texas or I'm going to get laid off. And so texted Shannon and said, "Hey, I think I'm about to get laid off." And she just basically said, "No." And here we are. We knew the company was making money, right? We knew we were making enough money to support us. And we knew if we were running it 100% of the time, it would do better. But it was just, how do you walk away from that secure thing? I mean, I had a great job, and medical benefits. And you start thinking about that. And it's like, man, I had everything, 401k, the whole 9 yards. And it's like, I got 3 kids. I've been on my own before. I've had, IT consulting firms, and I've done other stuff. But, it's just, how it is when you're on your own. And that sure thing, or at least what you thought was a sure thing, may not always be a sure thing. And it wasn't. And here we are. 12 years later, here we are. Having fun, making Christmas lights.
Making people happy
And that is the best part.
Across the world.
What do you do for a living? Christmas lights. Mm-hmm.
Play with Christmas lights 365. Yeah.
Wait, you can do that all year? Yes.
Yeah. See, you don't have young kids anymore, but my kids are young, so I go take them to school functions, and the other parents are like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Christmas lights."
Yeah.
They're like, "What?
What?" Oh, you put lights up around the house?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's the landscape guys. No. No.
So Doug wants to know what advice you have to somebody that wants to get into the vendor side of this hobby.
It's tough. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You got to be willing to do 200%. I mean, or at least have a support committee. I mean, I can tell you, in the beginning, it was just Shannon and I. We did everything.
How many all-nighters or extremely late nights?
All of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're all options. Yeah. Because again, you're working a full-time job, and then I would work this other full-time job that didn't necessarily pay me. And that was the advantage, though, in the beginning, is all the money the company made put back into the company. That's how we expanded, and then we built the building, and then we bought more machines. And, for as long as we could, we put all the money back into the company. We never took a dime out of it because it was just building the company.
I would say have thick skin because.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Customers are just.
Oh, you got to have a spine and thick skin. And I'm referring to one person individual, but definitely that.
Yeah. We go through a lot of customer service people at Mattos Designs because, well, one, I'm never on time on fucking pre-sales. And two, you got to have a thick skin because not always everybody who plays with Christmas lights is really nice people.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. You got to be able to sleep at night when you do eventually get to go to sleep. So
yeah.
Between Tom, Shannon, Maddie, those guys handling the customer service, I can tell you they go through a lot, and it's amazing to think it takes that many people to read some emails, but it's just so many emails. I mean, it's just, and again, as this hobby has been, I hate to say it, dumbed down, so it's easier to do. You get tons and tons of these emails.
Oh,
because again, where's the search bar, right? I mean, that answer's out there. I promise it's out there. But it's easier just to shoot an email or ask or whatever.
Yeah. Or, hey, how much is it for this? Well, please just throw it in your cart and it'll calculate shipping for you.
What?
Yeah.
Well, Well, part of that is some vendors are super legit about how they run everything, and your price is your price. And then some vendors are like, message me and I'll give you a better price. Well, then the legit vendors get stuck with a bunch of emails people trying to swindle a better price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how much is it if this?
Yeah.
Just throw it in your cart, man. I don't have any
It's not going to change.
It's still the same price. Yeah.
And I've had Tom work really hard to make sure our shipping is the most accurate it's ever been.
When's your next sale? What I'm gonna make a big purchase, but I don't want to pay full price. When's your next sale? I don't know, man. Whenever the boss throws out an email, I'm surprised when it happens. So you'll find out when I find out. And normally it's from another customer saying, "Hey, I saw this discount."
Oh, we're running a sale?
I've been trying to give Brian the emails that I send now beforehand.
Yeah.
They put up with a lot of stuff. I'll give them that. So. I don't know if I have the patience anymore.
This is our longest show ever, I think.
Yes.
But we got a ton of people hanging out. So thanks for hanging out this whole time. Holy cow.
So is there any sale or anything Boscoyo would like to promote before we go to rapid fire questions?
I do believe that's HR, but I think our Christmas in July sale is still going.
I think she went back to a nap, so
meds kicked in. I don't know when that one ends. It may be at the end of the month, but that'll be our last sale, right? Because then we start getting into peak.
It's your Christmas in July.
Yeah. No more sales.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ways to get discounts. I just don't know exactly when that sale ends. There's some membership ways to get a discount here and there.
PPD, right?
PPD is pretty much the only one I think we deal with. That their members get a year-round discount with their membership. But I mean, it's just we get too busy, and then we pull in support staff to help us out, and so all of our expenses go up as we get to the back half of the year. Is why, and people don't understand that, because we bring in more shipping staff, and just all of our operating expenses go up once you get past July. Just to try to keep up with demand, and it literally is just trying. I mean, we've gotten a lot better. I can tell you, last year, I don't think we had anything over about 2 weeks. Whereas I can remember back in the day, a 6 and 8 week backlog, and it was you can only go so fast. It is what it is, and we've gotten much more efficient about it, and our processes have evolved over the years. And every year we look at it and figure out what else can we do differently, what didn't work that we changed last year, and stuff like that. That's what we do to help move things along, and I'm sure everybody does it, but it's what we do.
I'm gonna drop the code in chat, or you want me to just say it out loud?
Easier if you
Either one, it doesn't matter.
Christmas in July 25, so all caps.
Yeah, I don't think.
And it's gonna end the end of this month, last day of the month.
There you go. So, yep, that'll be the last sale most likely of the year. The cool one about that one is I think that one's got free shipping and 10% off.
I can hear Bernie going cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Yeah.
I mean, it's essentially you're saving like 30%. I mean, if you really do it. I mean, we know what our shipping is.
It's two codes. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I was skimming, Shannon. I was skimming. Sorry. Hang on. It's coming.
It's a stackable one, so you can get free shipping and the
all right.
Off. I don't know.
There it is.
One of the downsides of Shopify, you can't do mining.
I know. Because you can't there's certain things that are excluded from it, which is typically in the commercial side of it, but just because of sheer size. But we had an order that went out that was I guess it was it was enough to do a pallet, and it was better to send it as a pallet than a whole bunch of boxes. It was going to be like 30 something boxes to ship it. And David's in there getting all the stuff ready. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, we need to ship that on a pallet. And called the guy and made sure it was good to send him a pallet, and he was a lot happier. So
nice.
So it's rapid fire time.
Finally.
Right. I didn't send him these, so he's going to be.
I'm blindsided by all of them.
You don't know what they're going to be.
Well, rapid fire is always blindsiding.
Thanks.
If Apple made a car, would it have windows?
Yes.
Should I ask what color is shoot? No, I'm not. So if you could rename Monday, what would you rename Monday to?
Crap.
Crap day?
Mondays are horrible, right? I mean, everybody's starting fresh, right? So everybody's sending their email. Hey, where's this? Where's that?
Well, you have all the emails from the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah. 44 new emails.
I love our customers, and they're great, but I try not to do that stuff on the weekend because, like, I hang out with my family, and I know that's when you're playing with your Christmas lights.
Yeah.
But please remember that if we didn't respond to you on the weekend, it's because we were trying to have a life for a second.
Or PMs or phone calls.
We'll get back to you during the week, please.
Yeah.
And they would look, I mean, all of those guys, our crew, they answered tons of emails. My favorite's when somebody will put a public post saying they didn't get an email back, and yet Shannon's got like the whole lineage of all the email conversations going back. And I'm like, yeah. You got to calm her down sometimes. She's like,
oh yeah, she get fired up.
She's like, because they're calling her a liar, right? She's like, that's bull. I did that. And oh my gosh, yeah, I get it. So that's probably causing some of her problems is all the stress from the emails.
A little bit.
So
yeah, it gets stressful with some people who they think they know what's going on for your company because they could order from China and get it in like a week. But like, but they don't understand that you're ordering a 40-foot container full of stuff. And like, the reason I have such a good deal on it is because it's all going in one thing and shipping to you. So it takes time to fill the container, Yeah. No, you don't. You don't have that problem.
America.
Wait a minute. Where's this shirt made?
It's printed in America with global materials.
I went to an American
global material.
Yeah. Assembled in America with global resources.
All right. Why do they call them apartments if they're all stuck together? Mr. Architect.
I don't know.
If aliens landed today, what would be the first thing you'd say to them? Crap ball.
Y'all hungry?
Right.
All right, I'm sticking with these architectural ones.
I figured you would. That's why I jumped around.
Why is it called a building if it's already built?
If a turtle doesn't,
it's a noun, not a verb. I don't know. Jeez.
If a turtle doesn't have a shell, is it homeless or naked?
Dead. It's a soup. Turtle sauce.
A soup.
Does Lightning McQueen have car insurance or medical insurance?
Ka-chow. I hope he's got both. How's that?
All right, my last one, because
you've only been 2 hours.
The tank is full. What is the worst possible name for a pet?
Come.
Wow. This is on Facebook.
Why do you have to take it that way? It's like, come. What are you going to say? Come here.
Or bomb? How about bomb? Bomb!
Bruh.
All right, last rapid fire question. I usually start with this one, but I figured I'd end with it. What color is your toothbrush?
Green.
Basic.
Expecting
thanks,
something
James.
bigger than that. Jeez.
Oh my!
We'll just kick him off screen. I forget what button to push. We added so many new buttons for our new shows, like Night School. So,
Yeah.
Longest show ever.
Yeah, this is
that
the
a good
record for
thing
the
or bad?
longest show ever.
It
But
is.
we constantly had at least 20 people in here the whole time, which I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Nice.
and that's very awesome, and a lot of interaction. This is probably the best
Yeah.
interaction that we've had. So that was actually super awesome.
Good.
So
Glad to help out. Glad you guys invited me. This was kind of fun. Last minute, you know. All good.
Well, that's how we roll. You know, I may have
I know.
talked about
Trust
having
me, I
you
know.
on the show last episode, but actually remembering to ask you is a whole nother.
yeah, he asked me
thing.
this morning. He's like, "Who are we gonna have?" And I'm like, "Didn't you want to have James?" I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah.
"Okay, I'll message him and see what he's doing."
Well, I talked about having like everybody who actually has a show and is a vendor. I think that's
Yeah,
unique.
yeah.
You know, not
Yeah.
everybody does.
That's
very
true.
much so.
So
For sure.
thank you, James, for having us. Or
Absolutely.
James,
being
you're
here
awesome,
and
dude. Love you.
doing stuff. So
Appreciate it. I'll get back to work.
yep.
Right.
Now I got 2 hours I got to catch up on. Thanks.
Sorry. Sorry. If your Coro's late, it's because of me. Actually, if your Coro's been late over the last 4 years, it's probably because of me.
Depending on the time of the year, that actually is a very valid point. Yeah.
I apologize. But
Problems,
we'll
yeah.
see you guys next week.
All right,
And
later.
don't forget this
See you
Sunday,
later.
Night School with maybe Bobby, maybe Brian as the fill-in, but
Oh, that's
Ron
right.
Armstrong will be doing a 101 type class to help everybody who just new to this get started and stuff like that. So
Can I take a nap
check it
during
out.
it, or can I do it at the lake while I'm fishing?
yeah, you as
I'll
long
add
as
him
you got
too.
a laptop, you can do it. Bobby might have to do it in the car if you're fishing. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I'll make it work. I'll make it work.
We'll see you guys. Thanks
Later.
for watching. Later.
Yo, it's that time again. The Zoo Sasquatch Vacation Contest is live. Take our sticker somewhere awesome. Beach, mountains, Disney, a trash can, it doesn't matter. Just make it epic. Send your pic to Andy at MatosDesigns.com by August 5th for a shot at $1,000 in prizes. Let's see where the Matos crew ends up this summer. Now go get wild with it.